Say alright, so first and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakodash. We set up alongside apostles and elders, agree most in the well, our teachers, our apostles in the shoot, and we salutations, so the Akamon say, push you in our children and say, Dean and the out, constantly in season and season, we say, Shalom. Once again, going into a video here. This basically touching upon, the spirit that these people be in, the spirit that these Israelites be in, these 2/3, how they be, basically, in the same spirit as in the days of Noah, right? The same spirit that hey, at the end, if you go back to the days of Noah, Noah was warning them, telling them about the flood. They didn't listen, but they was doing all sort of other stuff. Now the image I have up here was from a concert, Rolling Loud, right? Which is one of them big concerts or whatever it is, right? And it was basically packed, packed. And this happened about some weeks ago, right? And it was basically full, packed out, sold out. And when you watch the crowds, you see Jake all inside of it, and majority of these other concerts and all these things and all this other stuff that wherever they could go and feel to do the pleasure and so on, right? Now, nonetheless, when you watch that, you can see, you see, they don't have a care in the world, and they're not studying about the things to come, the dangers coming. You understand? But what they do, they party, they drink, all these things that the scriptures say that they would do. The danger the danger comes that not important to them, but at the last minute that is when it go hit them. But nonetheless, jump into the scripture. This is Matthew. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. 24 verse outside from verse to the. Let me start from verse verse 36. You say, but of that day and hour knoweth no man. You say, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So nobody know that day. But if it's one thing, you don't want to be caught slipping. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. You understand? You always want to be prepared. As the scriptures say, when the Lord cometh, what he would catch his servant doing. You understand? And where want the Lord catch you doing is the right thing, doing the right thing. But these people here, they don't want to hear that. No matter how much times you warn them, you tell them, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear about the destruction coming, how this place is going to burn like a furnace, and you're all going to be the wicked going to be the stubble fed, which eventually is these people. But they would flood these concerts with all these things happening. It's so-called have a killer disease outside there, and it's getting worse. But you know what? They could run outside it to go concerts. They're so-called talking about, they're balling about money and how things hard, but they're flooding these concerts, so they don't have a care in the world, and they don't have a care about the Lord. But all the things at the pleasure is what they want to do. And the same thing back in the days of Noah. Noah was telling about the flood. They didn't want to hear that. They don't want to hear about flood, and we didn't see nothing like that. We're not seeing it. You telling me about flood for? Let's see, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. You say, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You say, for as in the days that were before the flood, so before the destruction, right? That was before the flood. You said they were eating and drinking. It's a marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. So they was doing all this stuff. They didn't want to hear nothing about no flood. It's the same way today. They don't want to hear nothing about no thermal destruction, no thermal nuclear destruction. They don't want to hear nothing about no RFID chip. They don't want to hear nothing about these things, right? And this will show you a simple way. They outside there, so-called enjoying themselves, going concerts, doing all this stuff that all this sort of wicked stuff, right? And these elites, these high up Edomites, They just plotting these people downfall day by day. Day by day. But nonetheless, these people be in that same spirit as in the days of Noah. These same spirits be back here today. You see, say for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, so they was enjoying themselves before the flood. Same way here today, they enjoying themselves before this destruction to come. Same way today, and given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. They say, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall all the coming of man be. So yeah, they say, and knew not until the flood came. So last minute. And I just show you that these people be in that same spirit. They be in that same. So that way the scripture says, so shall be in the days of Noah. You see, but as in the days of Noah, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You understand? These people, the same way, they act towards Noah, the same way they act towards us, the same way they act towards the truth, the same way they act towards the scriptures. They don't want to hear that until the last minute. When they see these nukes, coming on from the sky, when they see the torment that come in the way, that is when they go know. But they go rush, as it say, for as in the days that were before the flood, before the destruction, before that, what they was doing, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, so they was doing all this stuff before the flood. Because again, they don't have a cane, they don't want to hear that. All this pleasurable stuff they do. They will do that. They don't want to hear about no flood. Come like it's stopping the joy, it's stopping the happiness. Telling them about the flood, it's like stopping the happiness. And they don't want to hear that. It's the same way here, telling them about the things to come. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. It's best to sell them a ticket to go a party. They would rather hear that. But I say until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Let me get an scripture here. This is I see, and this is the reason why I have that image up there, because this is a so-called event, a so-called concert take place. It's so-called have a virus destroying the world, but Jake finding time to go a party. That just to show you that the scriptures do lie. The scriptures say, hey, just like in the days of Noah, before the flood, they was doing all these things, and before the destruction, you're seeing it here. They're doing all these stuff. They're doing all these stuff. You understand? So yeah, they're doing these people. This is Second Peter, right? Chapter 2, verse I'll start from verse. I'll go to verse 5. It says, and spared not the whole world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So yeah. So this is what the Lord do. He bring the flood upon the ungodly. And you see him here bringing in destruction unto the godly today. This the scripture says this place is what reserved unto fire. This place is reserved unto fire. So the same way today, he sent his prophets to warn them, but they know what? They wouldn't hear. So they reserve unto this fire. So just as it say here, and spared not the whole world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So he saved Noah. Is the same way he will save his righteous men from where it is coming. But the ungodly, they would face the torment that set forth for them. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. I'll start from verse it says, first 3 verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. That is what they're doing. They walk after their own lusts. They don't care. We are at the end of this thing, and they're seeing it here. They don't want to hear nothing about righteousness, but anything about lust, they would heap to, they would follow to. For example, this concert. It's saying, I'm saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. So there was a question. I'm saying, where is the promise of his coming? You see them, but we hearing that from my grandmother that the Lord coming back. They forget that he ain't coming back now. That is the mindset that they be in. That is the mindset that they be in. The same way back in this, we know I tell them about the flood. We had time. We could go ahead. We could lie. We could give marriage. Giving us drinking, this, that. They was in that mindset until the flood came. I'm saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in water, whereby the word that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. That was that first destruction, that flood. It perished by what? By the water, by flood. Now listen to this. It said, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto the fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So this place is reserved unto fire. And now people want to say, but where's the ark? The ark is what you all call so-called UFOs. That is going to be the ark coming back. That is what could be the ark to carry us up when this fire start to plague this place. Let's say, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So this place is reserved unto what? Unto fire. Yeah, so this place is reserved unto that fire. This coming what? Destruction. You understand? So that same way to be, and same way in the days of Noah, the same way there is today. That same spirit back here today. And that same mindset that's waiting to be what? Destroyed. You understand? So with that, we give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahshai, Ba'Shem, Rakakodash. We say the apostles and elders agree most and well. All teachers are apostles in the truth, and we say salutations. So they are coming to preach on the truth and say day in and day out. Constantly in season, we say Shalom.